for someday? Ready to finally start living your best life right now?
You're in the right place. I'm David.
And I'm Wendy.
And this is the David and Wendy podcast. We're your life coaches here to move you from the excuses to action.
From mastering your mindset to finding real joy, we're keeping it real, raw, and maybe just a little ridiculous.
Let's get into it, Wendy.
Let's go, David.
Welcome back to the David and Wendy podcast. We're so glad you're here. This week we are discussing self-talk and what it is saying.
Oh boy, I'm so excited about this topic. Before we begin, I just want to apologize. I'm just getting over a cold, so if you hear me cough or my voice sounds a little raspy, that's why. So, self-talk. According to healthdirect.gov, I looked this up, and this is what it says about self-talk. Self-talk is the internal or external dialogue or inner voice that combines conscious thoughts with unconscious beliefs and biases to interpret daily experiences. It acts as a running monologue that impacts mental health, confidence, and performance, categorized as positive or negative. So, positive being supportive and motivating, or negative, which is critical or pessimistic. And I found that very informative.
That is very informative, and it can become self-evident if we just think of the last experience we had, and what did we say out loud or to somebody, or even just in our minds. We had an experience, and then there was a reaction of some kind of words or thoughts. What were those? Whatever you said is what you believe, whether you realize it or not. It's part of that programming. Is that, and here's the thing, right? The programming can also be beneficial. Was that response or that reaction exposing your belief? Is it beneficial to you? And if it is, then good, keep it up, right? Most of us don't even realize we are talking to ourselves all throughout the day. For every little interaction, every little experience that we have, we have some kind of response or reaction to that. We talked about the difference of reaction and response. So we'll have a reaction to that, and that's what we need to focus on and start to realize, because like attracts like. Default or reactive thoughts show up in your experience, or does your experience reflect your thoughts? This may be something to become aware of, to start to understand and even notice that it's happening.
Yeah. I wasn't even aware of this really until, I'd say, in the last 5 years. And the first step of it is recognizing the self-talk, or basically having an awareness around it. Because honestly, the fact is we do this all the time. Actually, almost, every moment. I mean, when we're awake, we don't even realize it. And there's so many examples of self-talk. There's, I think, one of the things that I mentioned in the definition, and David might have mentioned it too, it's not always a negative. It can be a positive, but for sake of coaching and therapy, therapists probably use that too, but is the focusing on where we want change in our lives. So some of the examples of self-talk, and these are just a few, are, you might have heard them or use them yourself. I never win anything. Have you ever been to like a raffle or any, you bought raffle tickets or, something like that? I never win. It's a Monday. Oh, that I used to use that a lot in my younger day when I was teaching. Oh, it's clearly a Monday. That would be nice to have or do, but that'll never happen for me or to me. Why does this keep happening to me? Another one, nothing ever goes right for me. Here's a common one, life sucks. I've heard people say that like over and over. Life just sucks. Life is hard. And there's many more, and I think you all get the idea that these are thoughts that we have in our heads, which is self-talk. And many of you are probably wondering, well, where does this self-talk come from? And uh, one of the biggest, well, actually, I think it is the probably the sole reason or where it comes from is our programming. That's our filter for interpreting our experiences that we've had from a very young age. And if you remember back to when David and I were defining terms and programming, the words, behaviors, beliefs that you hear, see, and experience, they all affect this, whether we even realize it or not. Most of us do not even realize the self talk that we're doing each and every moment of the day that we're awake.
Yeah, yeah. Our programming is what causes us to see things as we are, not as they truly are. Uh, I think that's I think that came from Dr. Wayne Dyer. Uh, for example, if you're wearing yellow tinted lenses, you'll see everything with that yellow tint. With some things being highlighted, some things will stand out better. You'll see them more, and some will fade away, and you won't see them as clearly as you would if your lenses were a different color or even clear. And actually, very few lenses, if any, are truly clear, and that's okay. That's how we have our own perspective. That's how our it's just our life experience. And we really do live in our own worlds with the rules that are programmed and then reinforced by our confirmation bias, which is when you say, "See, I knew that was going to happen," or "That always happens to me." That's how we confirm that, and we need to become more. We need to start to become aware that we're even doing that if we want to change things. Now, if you're saying, "See, that always happens to me," and you're referring to you just won some big prize or some bunch of money or whatever, then hey, ride that wave. That's where we want to go to find that recognition. But uh, until we do that, we're going to have things be as we believe. So change our beliefs. And once we start to understand that everybody's living in their own world, coming from a different perspective, a different place, a different understanding, we can be more understanding. It allows us to see how people might be coming from having a different understanding, coming from a different place, and we can have more compassion for others. We can have more understanding where we uh, be more allowing.
Mm. Yeah, if I can just interject here, one of the things that this makes me, since I become aware of this, now when I interact with others and what you were just referring to, David, there, the programming and our experiences and how we can have more compassion. Now when I interact with others and they might say or do or be behaving in a way or even their beliefs that I don't agree with, I realize that that's a programming that they're coming from. So yeah, I think this has done for me, this awareness has really helped me in my relationships and my understanding in my career, with my children, with friends, just with people I meet on the street, or when I overhear something in a store, or it's just taking a step back and realizing that where these people are coming from is the programming they've received from the time they were, you know, in utero. But it's not easy. It sometimes something will trigger us, and we will get frustrated and be like, and it's just, I think it's just kind of, it's abrasive on our own beliefs and our programming, right, that we have. So
Right, right.
yeah, but I think that the key for me is this has really helped me. I become more aware, and it's helped me in life with, like I said, my relationships in general, in all areas of types of relationships. So,
Yeah. I mean, it's just to tack on a piece there is, when you see people that are that you don't enjoy having the experience of being in their presence. Let's put it that way.
Mhm.
Uh, you can now be more understanding that, oh, well, they must have had some really tough experiences that's causing them to be the way they are, whether they're lashing out at people or whether they're,
Yeah.
whatever the experience is.
Boy,
So
as a teacher, I didn't realize this till the very end of my career in teaching, but holy moly, it helped me to really understand these children and to just be more have more empathy. And I don't have to like it. I mean, that's the other thing I want to make clear to people, that you don't have to necessarily like what people are saying or doing or how they're being,
no,
but you really can just have more compassion and empathy. And yeah. So which this brings us to our the topic for next week, which is, you're probably all wondering, well, how can I change this then? So next week's topic will be self-talk. How do we change it?
that's right. All right. That's the show for this week. We hope you are feeling motivated, like you're ready to take on the world.
If you got value today, do us a huge favor. Like and subscribe and leave us a review. It helps us reach more people just like you.
You can find all our info in the show notes and connect with us at our website, thedavidandwendypodcast.com.
We'll see you next week. And remember, always be kind, loving, and compassionate to everyone you meet.